easy to get a graph that shows the values, the sales values for those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. So the locations, there are 5 locations, and the central one is 52,000, that looks about right, and the eastern is 23,000, so that looks all right. And so what Excel does is it automatically calculates what the scale should be. You have numbers, but you want to plot it with smooth values. So it takes everything from 0 to 70,000. Now there is no 0 and there's no 70,000, but that makes it work out right. And I think I did write a paper at one time about how to calculate what the scale should be. So you've got everything from 0 to 70,000, and you've got these. And you don't need this because there's only one value. So you click on it and delete it, and it moves over. And donut sales doesn't sound too good. So you click on that and get rid of the extra sales. It's just donut sales will do, but I can't see it. So you've got donut sales as the title. So there probably isn't a lot you want to do to change this particular one, but that's sort of the minimum one. And what you've got is something on the same, this is called the embedded. There are 2 views, standalone and embedded. And this is the embedded. It's in the same worksheet as the data itself. In fact, often it could be sitting on top there if you don't watch out. It'll be on top there, but you can move it. So you click until you get this sort of plus sign, and then you can move it around on this sheet. And it's small, it's on the same sheet.
What's embed mean again?
Embedded, it's embedded in the same sheet. It's probably, I think that's what it means. But there's also standalone. And let's see, I'm trying to think, the standalone, one way you can do it is you click on here, you're in here somewhere, and if you hit F11, function key F11, you get a whole sheet. And that's now you have a standalone version. And if you look down here, it's chart 1. So you started off with sheet 1, and you can get rid of that, and you have chart 1. So there's no real reason for having to use the standalone, because you can always get it from the other.
That was a nice trick. I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know it either. I was reading in here. And
it's interesting though, you got the original thing instead of your updated. You still have the donut sales and...
Yeah, you're right. It went back to the original one that's
Yeah.
gone.
No, I think it did even more than that. Did go back to the standalone. Click and start 1.
Chart 1.
Yeah. Now, if you look down on the left side where you donut sales, did you have? I don't think you had the sales in the original one.
That's right. This was gone, but you could still get rid of it.
Yeah, but
And the
I
same
think it
thing.
didn't
You
have
made the
a
same
double in the
changes.
sales.
Yes, so it went back to the original one. That's what. Yeah, it went back to the original one when you use the F11. So I click. I can select the whole thing, by the way, and then do this. Sometimes the results aren't identical, and now I can say insert column, and I can choose the same 2D column that I had before, and it looks as if everything came out identical. But there's another way to make it standalone too. Let me see. I can convert from the one to the other.
If you click cancel now, will that get rid of your graph?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
If you want to get rid of the graph, you just press
No,
the
I
delete key.
just wondered when it came up cancel
But
right
if you
away.
press the delete key, I don't know if I do it.
It's not, you selected
but
the
I
wrong
don't know if I
thing.
can undo
Yeah,
it now. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So All right, so the things you can do with this is you can move it anywhere around. You can also, I think, move it to move here, well, we copy here, that's not too exciting. Now we've got this one. But you can also scale it. If you go to the corner and you get this two-sided arrow, can you see that? Now you can scale it. So we can make it bigger. So you can scale it, and you can delete it, and I think you can also do something else to make it go. Let's see. Now that you've designed it, you picked one of these. You did it by default. I guess it could have been this one, and you can still change it. Colors, and there are more. This is a little sexier here. You can have different color combinations, and you want to be careful what you use if you're using it to project, say, in a PowerPoint or something.
Bruce, instead of this range of numbers you'd picked for the sales,
Yeah.
if you had picked numbers that were close together and rather large, would your chart start at 0, or would it chart
it
just below the lowest
It
number?
shouldn't. All right, let me just do it. We can change the number. I don't mind changing it. 53. Let's see, make this one 53,000. 54,000. Most of the time it does the right thing, but you'll see that it doesn't always. 55,500. Okay, and this could be 43,000. Okay, now it looks as if it began with 0.
Oh, it changed automatically.
It changed
But
automatically,
now if you
but it
started
didn't
a
do.
new graph,
But it began with 0 to
let's
60,000.
start a new graph,
Yeah.
delete that and
Yeah,
regraph
we'll
it.
delete this one. Okay, and now we'll do a new graph. And insert column. Now I did it, but you notice the upper number is only 60,000. It didn't go anymore to 72,000.
Yeah,
But I'm surprised that it
It went
didn't
to
go, that was a decision, but you can control that to some extent. You could look at this axis, the y-axis. Okay, now I've selected the y-axis, and now I should be able to do something about layout. Axes. Change the formatting on axes. Primary vertical axis. We can show the default, show axis in thousands, show axis in millions, no billions. Block scale, more. Okay, now we start having all kinds of axis options.
okay.
So you could say that you don't want it to start at 0.
Well, that's what I wondered. It didn't do it automatically, though. That's all I needed
It
to
did
know.
it on max, let's see, minimum, maximum. It says.
Well, you want the minimum. Instead of starting at 0, start at 40,000.
So, well, no, you have to tell it, should the minimum be fixed, or should it be automatic?
Yeah.
I think we want it automatic.
Click on the fix. No, click on the fix and say 40,000.
Oh, if I say 40,000,
Yeah.
then it's going to do that, by the way. Yeah. All right, if we don't do anything else, you see it did do that.
Yeah. It shows
It
the
needed a little
difference.
help from you, it didn't automatically do it. It began with 40,000 and went up to 58,000.
That's how you lie with statistics
What?
and graphs. That's how you lie with statistics and
Hmm.
graphs, depending if you start with 0 or you start with,
Yeah. The axis options were that the minimum, we weren't going to let it do it automatically. We were going to force it to use something sensible, like 40,000. And the rest of them we left alone, but we could fix, We could have told this one fixed also, we could have told it 56,000, for example. 56,
Well, this depends on what you call sensible.
you don't think that's sensible? 55,000.
It's a matter of opinion. I
Well,
can see both.
55, we can't use 55,000.
No, I'm saying when you don't start at zero,
Yeah,
it gives you the comparison of the numbers. But if you start at zero, it shows the range is very small.
the major unit
Which it is.
It is.
2,000.
It is. This is a small range. If you start with a higher floor,
It looks
Then-
like a huge
yes,
range.
and it is not.
Yeah.
That's what I said. That's how the
Yeah.
lie of statistics and graphs.
Display
Absolutely.
units. Oh, we can do that. Major tick mark type, yeah. This has to do with the tick marks and where you want the axes labeled. And we're not talking about horizontal axis right now, we're doing vertical. Let's see what we've got, okay. Now, you might want more grid lines. Let's see if we can do that. Add minor grid lines. And then if we blow it
How
up,
do
let's see, blow it up, view, zoom, make it 200%. Now you can really read them because you now have 40,000. And you have fairly logical values for the ones in between for the grids. So you have a lot of control over the appearance. So that's really all I had to say. Of course, you can change these, you can make these different. You click on one of these and then you can go to, let's see, layout, I think layout again.
You want to show the thing which gives you a choice of different styles, like the bars, pie charts.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, did not just show what is available.
Well, there are a lot of things. You have to go through this. You have different design, layout, and format. Those are the three things that you, once you're in chart tools, it's those three things that